All right. Hello, hello, Donna.
Hi, how are you?
It seems to be the most natural way to say your name now after hearing you. It's hilarious. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, thanks for having me on your show.
Absolutely. I'm excited. I mean, we're just kind of starting out and we've discovered Kill Tony, and so we've been binging on that. And we saw your episode and I was hilarious. First of
Oh,
all,
thank,
hilarious.
thank
And I know that you were on recently, but um and I kind of did some digging. So you started out on oh, before I fail to introduce you, this is Donna Lee, Donna Lee Comedy. um, but you started out on Nick at Night, right? At,
Mhm.
at the mom's thing. The
Yeah, Nick at Night, Search for the Funniest Mom in America, season two.
right. So I actually saw a couple of those episodes. I went back and watched them. I was very disappointed that you didn't get to move on. It was very sad.
I shouldn't have moved on. I had just started comedy, like literally, I'd been on stage 3 or 4 times doing open mics.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So what prompted you to do that? And then how did you like, because I know you had to take a break and raise kids because that's life. But
Mhm.
what and then what like when you restarted, how are those experiences?
Well, let's see what started. I'm just really transparent about why I started. I'd wanted to be a stand-up comedian since I was in the fifth grade. And I remember my little best friend who told me I should be one. And I recently got to do a show in front of her in Arkansas and told that whole story. So that was really sweet.
Oh, sweet.
But I did the mom thing, working. I had, a son and stepsons and husband number one, husband number two. But I went through a really awful postpartum depression that I didn't plan on.
Wow.
Obviously, nobody plans on that. But when I came out of that darkness, I thought, wow, that was really hard. And I found a doctor who put me on the right medication for a short time and then weaned me off. And then I was back to normal. But when I went through that, I thought, I really want to do everything that I want to do.
Yeah.
Like I was stuck, in the hamster wheel of doing this and that and being a mom and trying to work. And I was a stay-home mom with my child till he was in kindergarten. But I just had a goal. I was like, I'm going to do what I want to do. And the very first thing at the top of my list was to do stand-up comedy. So I forced myself to go to some open mic nights at Cap City Comedy here in Austin. I was terrible. You think you're going to be great. You're never great. It's just how it is. I thought I was moving my arms around and I watched the video and I was like, I was just like a tree. And then
Isn't it
I
funny how your perception in the moment is so different than the reality of the experience?
Right. I thought I did well, and thank God I had a friend who showed up and she would record me on the camcorder that she had to hold on her shoulder.
That's funny.
So yeah. So anyway, then I started watching Nickelodeon because my son was little and there was all these commercials. Do you think you're funny? Are you a comedian? Are you a mom? We're searching for the funniest mom in America. So I sent in a DVD and I also joke, but it's not really a joke. I had just gotten a fresh set of boobs, and I'm pretty sure that's why I ended up on the show. So, and I'll take that.
You'll take that win.
That's right. Because I sure wasn't funny, so I'm not sure what else is going on. But it was a great experience, and I've met so many amazing people, and it just gave me a taste of wanting to do it. And I had a little bit of notoriety after the show. People would recognize me around town, and that was
Yeah.
really fun. So then I became an opener, and I think people don't give enough credit to hosting. Comedians that can host really well are open. So
Yeah.
I kind of honed in on that skill. Comedians do. We all appreciate it because we know how hard it is. But
Yeah.
I was doing it part-time, very, very part-time, because then I was going through the divorce and I had
Yeah.
my son every other weekend and I would just do comedy as much as I could, which wasn't very much because I wasn't getting paid a lot. But Leanne Morgan was on season one and she
Yes.
didn't win. And I was on season two and didn't win. So we're both losers, but
Hey,
winners.
hey, hey, you know what? That show obviously doesn't do a good prediction of who is the funniest mom.
Right. But it was a great experience and I'm glad I did it and I get to say it. And when I say it on stage now, I see people kind of light up and I don't want to tell them, it was 19 years ago.
Just the fact that you were in a show. I know we were in a game show, Beat Shazam. And so when we tell people
Oh,
that,
cool.
exactly, you get that reaction, you're like, oh wow. And really I mean it was a neat experience. I suck at all things music. My
Oh,
parents are
no.
deaf, so I never really knew. But my husband is like a musical genius. So we
Oh,
were able to win, but yeah, it's that same reaction that people just don't expect, I think,
right.
somebody that they know or have met to be on TV.
Right. Yeah, it's weird. And then I couldn't find it's so funny we're talking about this because I just got a message, a general message today from a random stranger who said, "Hi, my name is whatever his name was." He was really sweet guy. He said, "My mom was on the same show you were on, but season three, and we can't find any video footage." And I said, "That's so funny because I couldn't find any video footage. I Googled it and went down the path, and I don't know how y'all found it,
It's
but
on YouTube. I found
yeah, it's on my YouTube now.
yeah,
Yeah. But
yeah,
I
yeah.
had to find the link from a
Oh,
friend of mine who was on the show because we couldn't find it on Google. Like I couldn't Google it up like I thought I could. But we had one lady on the show, a comedian who had all of the DVDs and then she uploaded them years ago. And
really?
she sent them to my friend who won the show, who sent it to me, and then I uploaded.
Jump through hoops just to find it,
Right,
And,
right. Yeah.
and according to what you're saying, it may needed to have stayed buried.
Probably. I don't know. It was surreal watching them back for the first time last year. I watched them with my husband and I was like, wow, where did all the time go? That's just,
Right? And
it's nuts.
so now you've kids are grown, you've decided I'm gonna jump back in. What has that experience been like, and how did you navigate that?
It's been surreal. So my son is the youngest of our children. He's 23, and I had a talk with him and my husband, and I was like, I'm bummed that I gave up on comedy for 12 years, and regretted it, been
Yeah,
bummed about it, sad about it for all those 12 years.
yeah,
I did do like one fundraiser or like one contest once a year for the 12 years. And
yeah,
maybe I'd skip a year or two. So it wasn't really comedy. I was just kind of like, I think I'm funny. I don't know.
yeah,
But getting back into it full time, I went full time recently, and it's been, I think because of my comeback story and because I'm just, I try so hard to make sure people feel included
yeah,
and heard, and everybody's been so kind, except for the dumb trolls, after my
yeah,
Kill Tony experiences.
yeah.
I don't even count them, but they're funny to watch. They're
Somebody's
funny
got to
to,
say something. Well,
yeah.
it's comedy gold. Honestly, you've turned it into comedy gold. So yeah,
Yeah, and I made fun of it, making fun of me, and I talked about it on Kill Tony. But it's been the most life-changing, fun, cool, amazing, satisfying, validating experience I have ever had in my life. And
awesome.
I literally, it sounds super cheesy. I burst into tears at least once a day out of gratitude because people are just so kind and they're so uplifting and they're rooting for me and whomever has a story to
Yeah,
root for. And it's just been the most positive experience because I was scared coming back in. I'm a lot older than all the other comics I hang out with. Social media wasn't a thing when I did comedy before. You would just
yeah,
go to the club and be funny and go home.
right.
Now, as a headliner, the stress and pressure to fill seats and to get people to the show and to make the promos and do the Facebook campaigns, it really is a full-time job.
It is.
I
Yeah,
have no time for other things anymore. But I love it. It's
yeah,
just
yeah.
super satisfying.
But it
But
is
yeah,
definitely with all of the, like you're saying, with all of the social media stuff that goes with it. I mean, because you have to be promoting all of that. You have to be putting up, I guess, TikToks, which I'm still not 100% familiar with.
girl, I can't even spell TikTok. I'm like, come on now. This is a
Glad
lot.
I'm not the only one. I'm so glad I'm not the only one. Like my son's fiance made me download Snapchat. I was like, because that's really the only way that I can. She likes Snapchat, and so I'll text her, same phone,
Yeah.
and she won't respond. I'll Snapchat her,
Yeah. Isn't
a
that
picture, and
weird?
I'm like, it's so strange. I don't understand.
Yeah. My son too is like, won't you get Snapchat? He has a southern accent. Mother, get Snapchat. How do you expect me to communicate with you? I'm like, by text? I don't know, by a phone call?
Right? It's the same device.
Right. I know it's like you have the apps. I see
Right,
it.
right, right. I see. It's in your hand because you're responding to the snap.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
it's been fun. It's been a whole new way of connecting. So, and I'm all about connecting with people. That's what
right.
I am. So,
Yeah.
okay. So you made it on this secret show the first time. How was
Yeah.
that?
Well, I was invited to the secret show both times, so that
Okay.
was
Okay. The second time as
really
well.
good.
I
Yeah.
couldn't remember because I was reviewing everything and we didn't get to review the second appearance. I
Oh,
know
no
it
worries.
was fairly recent and we watched it when you were on, but My
Yeah, it was yeah, at the very end he invited me. It wasn't I didn't start screaming like I did the first time. I mean, I was super excited,
yeah,
but the
yeah.
first time was pretty
Well,
probably more
we
memorable.
literally binge Kill Tony, and so sometimes it all runs together.
I'm sure. It's a commitment. It's a lot of time to watch it on a Monday.
Oh, I'm telling you. Well, and we watch it on a Tuesday and a Wednesday and a Thursday because
Right?
my 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 husband is madly just mad about it. He's nuts about it, and he's like, I cannot believe I did not know about Kill Tony. I can't believe I didn't know
I
about
didn't either. I didn't either until a year and a half ago when my coworker, when I said, I think I'm going to get back into comedy, he's like, oh, have you been watching Kill Tony? I was like, what's Kill Tony? And he's like, how do you not know what Kill Tony is in Austin? And now I've been on it twice, and he's the most excited of my friends because he's like, are you effing kidding me? He's like, I had to tell you about that. I'm like, well, I'm glad you did.
it. Watching a documentary on the Comedy Store.
Uh-huh. In LA.
Yes, yes. And they had mentioned it in passing. One of the comedians mentioned it just in passing. And then my
Mhm.
son had come over for Sunday dinner that same week and was talking about, oh man, I was watching Kill Tony and blah, blah, blah. And my husband was like, what is this thing? And Gunnar was like, oh, you've got to see it.
Yeah.
Uh, Hooked. I mean,
Now
hooked.
you're
Like,
in.
now we're starting, we started at like episode one or whatever. And
Oh my.
we've been binging. Yes.
Wow, that's
We've
a
made
lot.
yes, and we make sure we watch it every Monday now, and then we catch up on the rest of the days. So
Well, since you're such a big fan, I think you'll be interested in the backstory. So what
yeah,
happens for your viewers too, it was really intimidating for me at my age to go do these things because I didn't really know anybody anymore in comedy. And I kind of befriended Ernest Evans Sr., he was just on Kill Tony. He'll be on next Monday, I think, is when his airs. But then I started making friends one by one. Now I know a ton of people down there, but 300 of us go downtown to 6th Street. It's on average, it's about 300. We go sit in a giant warehouse bar called Shakespeare's, which is 2 doors down from Mothership.
yeah.
And so what's in the middle is this glorious magical pizza place called Rapolo's, which I love every time I go. But we all sit in a warehouse and we put our names in the sign up sheet thing, and then all those names get transferred to the actual bucket that Tony has on the desk. But it's a commitment because you have to sign up between 6 and 7, and you have to stay until that show that we're watching what you're watching, but it's 2 weeks out. So we're in a giant warehouse with a big giant screen, and so we're watching what everybody else is watching, and then they pause the show and they call the name when Tony hands, Red Band the name, and then the name comes running over to Shakespeare's. So we're standing there as they pause the show. It feels like it's live for us because they're pausing the actual show to call out a name. And it's the most well-run machine I've ever seen because it's just so smooth. But we have to be there until 11 or 11:30 whenever the show ends. So
Yeah.
you're there for 5 or 6 hours on a Monday. And the air conditioner doesn't work very well in Shakespeare's, and I don't know why.
Oh,
And
that's
it's very
awful.
hot. So,
Especially in Texas. That's awful.
yeah, for sure. But I mean, it works a little bit. But anyway, the best part of this whole experience is that when your name gets called, my name, anybody's name, somebody that we don't know or do know,
Yeah.
everybody erupts into applause. All of the
Oh,
comedians start yelling, "Yes, you've got this!" and "Go, Donna Lee!" and they're
oh,
high-fiving you, and it's so positive and cool. Nobody's there going, "Oh man, I didn't get picked." It's really,
I
really
love that. I
amazing.
love that.
Yeah,
That's
it's
awesome.
really kind. And then when you come back, everybody's cheering you and patting you on the back and how'd it go? What happened? But yeah, the first time I got pulled. I'm so glad I'd been in for a year because my website had just finished. Had I gotten pulled sooner, I wouldn't have been ready mentally,
Right,
and
right,
I
right.
wasn't ready mentally. It's crazy, but I got pulled, and then I thought I want to get pulled again, and so you have to just keep going back every Monday,
Yeah.
with the hopes of getting pulled again. So it was just an incredible experience, and I got the secret show in the big book the first time.
Yes.
If people know what that is, that's a really big deal. And
Really
then he asked me, he said, "Did you get a big book the first time?" Which tells me I would have gotten the big book
big book
again had I
again.
gotten
Yeah.
it. And then Red Band invited me to do the secret show again. So it was just outstanding and
So
so
how
good.
is the secret show in comparison to Kill Tony? Because you get 5 or 8 minutes.
I got 8 minutes, so everybody gets between 8 and 13 minutes. The secret show it's a secret because as the audience members don't know who's coming out. It's a really long show, and it's like the best of the best in Austin. There's typically 15 to 17 comedians on the show, and it goes on from like 8 to 11. It's a
Wow.
long show,
Yeah.
but it's all stand up. It's not as nerve-wracking as Kill Tony, the experience, because that's just intense.
Yeah.
So The Secret Show is an amazing show, and it's, what I'm used to, the stand-up comedy show. I will admit that I haven't on those 2 times that I've been there. I didn't kill a lot. I didn't murder. I maybe politely smushed people. It wasn't, it's all like you're really young people in that crowd. And I'm always the oldest. I tell my goofy mom jokes and,
Yeah.
my mom stories, and
Yeah.
nobody's falling over dying laughing, but it was fun. And, I made people laugh, and I had a great time, and I love Red Band. He's the nicest, as much crap as they give him. He's so professional and so
Yeah.
kind and so nice. And he teased me about bringing cupcakes the first time. I bring cookies and cupcakes wherever I
Yes.
go.
Well, you know what? My husband made a comment about that, and I said, because he said, you would totally do that. And I said, yes. I said, you know what? People remember gifts and they remember good food. So,
That's right.
and it's nice. You're being nice. You're saying thank you. Thank you
Yeah,
for me,
I'm so full of gratitude. I bring cookies to the staff members at the venues. I even bring extra cookies to the door guys because I'm sad they might not be able to take a break to go to the kitchen.
Oh, well, see, and that's the perfect way to get back in. Well, they say the gift makes way for the giver. So,
Right? Yeah, and my love language is gift giving. So
yeah,
it
yeah.
just it feels
Mine must be too because I crochet, so I make a lot of little crochet things and want to give them to people. And my husband's like, "Honey,
that's
everybody wants a
cute.
crochet creation."
Right, that's
I'm like,
sweet.
but it's squishy and it's cute and it's sweet.
Right.
Okay, so do you have any tips for somebody starting over? Because I mean, like you paused your career or paused your dream of comedy and then had to kind of reinvent yourself and restart this thing. What's your tips, best advice, anything like that?
My tips and advice for people who are picking up a dream they had put on the shelf for a long time is to surround yourself with only positive people that light up when you walk in a room, and only meet people. When you meet somebody, the second you meet them, if they're going to be a good influence
Yeah,
or
yeah,
not the most positive. And I've been so blessed to meet so many positive, caring, kind people who've given me a shot. One of the headliners I met by chance, Kat C, she's a headliner out of LA and she travels all around the country. We just hit it off.
yeah.
And, I'm her biggest fan and I want the best for her. And she's put me on so many shows. And the same with her. She's like, I love you. You're like my sister. Like we just
Oh, yeah,
surround yourself with those people that really care about you, that want to see you grow, and keep everything close to the vest until you can trust that person 100%. I've
yeah,
got 3 people in my very tight circle that I tell everything to,
yeah,
but I tell, a lot to, like, I'm telling
yeah,
you a bunch of stuff, but they're like
yeah.
the things that I really have that I want to happen, big things for
Yeah,
me.
the
I
your
just got to
your
keep them close.
your internal dreams, your internal hopes, your internal like I'm wrestling with this thing you don't necessarily share with everybody.
Yeah, don't go be braggy and tell everybody all your stuff. There's a comedian I can think of that just tells everybody he's going to take over Austin and this and that. And we're all just like, you just got here. Make us laugh first, but
I hope that happens for you.
oh yeah, and I do, but I'm just like,
Yeah,
oh. And I, follow a lot of, all I do is feed myself positive stuff. So on my algorithm, it's all positive
yeah,
people and,
yeah,
people teaching you how to manifest and high vibrational influencers that
yeah,
only say positive things. I don't watch scary movies. I don't watch negative things. I don't
yeah,
listen to sad music. Like, just
yeah,
surround yourself with everything positive and figure out who in that field is doing well and better than you are, and attach yourself to that person without being, too
yeah.
much,
That
and
makes
keep
sense. It's like follow the leader, basically. You want to choose the leader that's in the person that's leading the way and see if you can't line up with them.
right. And no, you're not for everybody. I know I had to learn, I thought I was going to make everybody laugh and it's going to be so
Yeah.
fun. When I was 35, it was a little easier to make 25-year-olds laugh. Now that I'm 54, 25-year-olds look at me like, what you doing out here, old lady? You're not gonna make us laugh, and you're clean. Like, those kids don't want to hear clean.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then I had to kind of find my people, and so I'm with a group called Moms Unhinged, and those shows are always so
Yes,
much
I
fun.
saw a couple of those shorts
Yeah.
on your
Yeah, they're so
channel.
fun because they're all my people. They're all moms, basically. But
Yeah.
then I did a show in Tyler and I brought out a whole bunch of people that were older because I did a newspaper article. Who reads a newspaper anymore? People my age or older. And so
Right.
there's an audience. And Leanne Morgan told me early on when I opened for her a few times back in the day, and she was touring around the country, and I was just trying to figure out. She sat down with me and any other mom comedian, and she said to me, Donna Lee, in your tiny little britches, don't ever give up this dream if it's your dream. And I was like, I'm never going to give up, Leanne Morgan. And then I gave right up. I was like, I can't make any money. I'm not doing this full time. And so, and then I ran into her. I got to see her recently, and I told her that story that I do an impression of her on stage now. And she remembered me. She remembered my son. She remembered that I'd gone through a really horrible divorce when she and I first met. Like she's just my biggest inspiration coming back at my age.
Yeah.
So, find your people and make them happy.
That's awesome. So I always like to ask, because Anne's Arbor kind of initially started with a dream of my heart to give back to single moms because I was a single mom for so long.
Hmm.
And I met my husband, and he just absolutely was like, yes, babe, we'll do everything we can to make this dream happen. And it's kind of morphed now because we've moved to Alabama and where life has changed. And so now I just like to ask, like, what is the thing that like pulls your heart, that the organization, do you have an organization that you're like, oh, I try to support this particular organization every time I can? What, like, if you could tell everybody in the world, like, hey, I want you guys to come support this, what would it be?
Um, I, I haven't aligned myself with a particular fundraiser or
Yeah.
charity, but except for one that I do an annual thing with, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But anything that has to do with animals, I'm I'm on board with that. In Austin, we have something a group called Pets Alive, and they do a lot of really good work. But I am very when in fact I have a huge chunk of money, I will absolutely be helping the shelters and doing all the things. I need to be more present about that. I have a bazillion dollars that I'm going to give to shelters. Let's put it out there,
Yes,
universe.
yes.
I'm so worried. And
Yeah.
I would have 100, I have four wiener dogs, but I would like to have 100 rescue wiener dogs and 100 acres and call it Wienerland. Like that's my dream. But I
You're
do yeah,
like,
I'm so passionate about my wiener dogs. I do though help a charity annually with the Ryan Wayne Salon. It's called GDAS, Cancer Clinic,
okay.
and it's in Richardson, Texas, and it's a clinic that helps women who can't afford cancer treatments and chemotherapy, and they don't have insurance. And every year, the Ryan Wayne Salon does a big fundraiser for that, and I co-host, and produce a podcast with Joseph Ryan Wayne, who runs the salon,
Mhm.
and we're promoting that right now. And it's
Awesome.
next weekend, October 18th. But that's a big deal for me because those
Yeah.
women can't afford therapy and treatment, and they don't have insurance,
Oh,
and it's a really big deal.
and it's, I mean, and that's it's pretty monumental to hear that diagnosis anyway. Like it's devastating on so many different levels. And then you think, oh, I don't have insurance to pay for this. I don't have, oh, I can't imagine. I cannot imagine. So that's
Right.
wonderful. So you said GDAS? G,
Mhm, yeah, all caps GDAS, and then Cancer Clinic
okay.
in Richardson. And Joseph Ryan, I said his name wrong. Joseph Ryan Hughes is his name. He's the owner of the Ryan Wayne Salon with his husband, Nathan Wayne Hughes. But yeah, they do an amazing job and they raise tens of thousands of dollars for this clinic. And I help them with the fundraiser every year. And so I'm pretty passionate about that too.
Absolutely. That's amazing. I'll make sure that that gets linked somehow. I'm
Okay,
still
cool.
not entirely tech savvy. My husband has to help me do a lot of that stuff.
Oh, I appreciate it. Yeah, if you just put their name in the show notes and their
Yeah.
website, that'd
Yeah.
be great.
We'll definitely do that. Well, thank you so much for
Yeah,
taking time out of your day to talk to me. I so appreciate it.
my
Um,
pleasure.
Absolutely love your mom jokes. The ones that you tell stories about your mother. That's, I mean, it gets me because I I don't have necessarily similar experiences, but I get it because my parents are deaf, and so culturally, it's an entirely different experience.
Experience.
Right. And so I can
Yeah,
relate in that way that,
I
oh,
got you.
yeah. It's like
Yeah.
super blunt and super, oh, they don't, because they still don't get some of the language. And they, like my mom always reverses like Piggly Wiggly, it's always Wiggy Piggy.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah,
Yeah,
my mom would
and
probably
it's
say
like that
that.
with everything, but it kind of reminds me similarly to how your mom was like, doesn't get.
Yeah, no, after every show, I'm so grateful somebody or several people will come up every time and say, my best friend's mom is Korean, or, I grew up with a lady or I this Italian lady, or, she talks this way when I grew up. But every single show, somebody comes up and it just fills my heart because I just love that I've connected with somebody at,
Yes.
that level about some silly story that my mom had. And it's magical. It really is.
It is. It really is. And you are doing an incredible job and you're going to go way far. I just know it. This is
Thank you. You're
beginning.
so
So,
sweet.
well, thank you so much for taking time.
Thank you.
And again, when is the cancer clinic fundraiser? Go ahead and say that one more time
It's
for me.
October 18th, so it's coming up pretty soon. It's Saturday, October 18th, and we're going to have a big fundraiser at the salon. It's called Ryan Wayne Salon in Hurst, Texas, Hurst. It'll be like a carnival setup, so we're going to raise a bunch of money for GDOS Clinic. And every year, they've been doing this every year for the clinic, and it's a really big deal, and we're super excited about it.
Awesome. Awesome. So if you want to see her, head out there October the 18th.
Oh,
Thank
and my website,
Yes.
DonnaLeeComedy.com.
Yes. And I'll tag that for sure. So, and
Okay.
you guys definitely got to check out her YouTube channel because she's got all kinds of hilarious stuff on there as well. So
Yes.
thank you so much, Donna Lee.
Thank you. Thanks for your time.
Bye.
Okay, bye.